Hello.
Hello. We're back. Live and direct.
That was a long few days traveling.
Redneck Rumble. It's a trip. Can't believe how many people showed up in Lebanon, Tennessee at the Redneck Rumble.
Yeah, you guys,
We got people.
everyone that came out and said hello to us.
Hello.
Hello. We were really humbled and
I was shocked. It was 5 hours straight. Just,
yeah.
what's up?
And I think some people said they waited like 2 hours to like meet you because
Huh.
Ian was giving time to everyone.
I don't know what all the fuss is about, honestly. I mean,
Right.
this is me at the Redneck Rumble.
Pretty much. Well, you had on your other
Oh, I
shoes.
didn't have a sock in my hand either.
Yeah.
This is the hot weather gear. We're not welding today, and we're not grinding today. We got the transmission back.
Yay.
Ta-da!
Oh, that's what that thing is. I was wondering what it was.
That's what all the fuss has been about. So it's fresh. It's rebuilt. The fella does great work. We were just having issues with parts. Let's do a little brief recap of what all the delay was about. So inside that transmission, you got all kinds of gears and stuff. And I guess the main problem was this main shaft was bunk. This cluster gear was bunk. This is a replacement shaft that was bunk. I don't know, it goes somewhere in there. And then, bearings, etc. So it's all fresh. It's all new. He went through, it's all synchronized and everything else. And now we have to figure out how to reassemble it, if I can remember how I took it apart. That's going to be today's adventure. Because we want to get this thing going ASAP.
Well, let's be honest. I'm being the pushy one.
Well, you want to ride?
Yeah. We have the back seats coming. Thanks, Big Willy Jeep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So all I'm doing here is just a little prep. We have a new pressure plate, so I took some acetone and wiped that. And if there's any kind of packaging goo on there, and I just put the flywheel back on with some Loctite. But you see it's a little bit glazed, and in a perfect world, you just bring it to a machine shop and have that fixed. But I got some 800 grit paper. Let's see if we can't just dial that in a little bit.
Oh.
So again, this is a stock engine. It's pretty worn out. It doesn't make a lot of power. So us getting that clutch to hook up and not slip, I think this is going to be just fine. Just took whatever little bit of oxidation, etc. off. And the good news is, if that don't work, we got extras. So yeah, let's work on putting this together. Do you know anything about clutches and how they go together?
No, not even at all.
Well, be ready for the story of a lifetime. Hopefully some folks will be a bit the wiser also from watching this. Otherwise, if you're bored, stay tuned. There'll probably be a good joke in here somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So you didn't understand, as I remember, how the clutch makes the power go from the engine into the gears. Is that correct?
That is correct, Amanda.
So how that works, this pressure plate, see the springs in there?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much these springs push. See, this is a coupler right here. So this just floats in space.
Mm-hmm.
So when you press the clutch, it takes the pressure off of this. So this is just free spinning. So the engine isn't doing anything to the gearbox. But when you let go of the clutch, those springs push this all together.
Mm.
So it locks everything and starts to spin with the engine. So that's why when you feel the clutch, when you feel the pedal, it's actually pushing these springs. That's what you're pushing on.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the springs are tighter than others because I notice different cars that are manual, the clutch is harder or sometimes it's looser.
That is correct. So for a race car, that's what I was just getting at with how much power this engine produced. So with a race car with a ton of engine power, you're going to want this massive setup and all kinds of special stuff to just get that power to the wheels right now. But you're driving your little grocery getter, or your Jeep, not a ton of power. So you just, you don't need that much spring action. All right, so when you're putting this together, this is a clutch alignment tool. There it is, aligning the clutch. See, it mimics this. This goes to replace that when you bolt it all together.
Mm.
And then I don't have any lock washers, so I'm just going to Loctite these. I want you to all hold your comments about grade 5, grade 8, whatever. So you can see how this is fastened. 6 bolts. You see my lucky hardware bin. It's not failing us so far. I'm gonna have to make a proper list and go to the hardware store for all the different pieces, because once we get to bolting the engine to the transfer case, look what I got. It's an assortment of whatever the heck we can get to fit, and then I'm gonna have to get a list and buy the proper stuff and swap these out because I don't have them right now. As I tighten this, you'll see these springs start to spring. We don't want it that tight. All right, and then you pull that out.
Ooh. What is that new contraption you have over there?
Got us a swamp cooler. Finally.
Thanks, Tom Taylor.
Thanks, Tom Taylor. He's like, hey man, I got 3 of these, $100. You could take it home. So we're gonna be a little bit cooler, but it's still pretty loud, so we're leaving it off right now.
It's not 103 today.
No. So ideally, this should slip right in there. There it is. Cool. But we need a whole bunch of gear in between these two to make the clutch go. That's where this pile comes together. So this is the bell housing, because it's like a bell.
Mm-hmm.
This goes onto here. Probably just dump this right in at the top. I've never tried to fit these together because the transmission was at the shop for so long. I already can feel.
Is it going?
You know, there's a learning curve in everything we do, and I'm kind of that guy with Volkswagens.
Uh-huh. Hey man, this is the last Jeep in your whole life you'll ever have to build.
I cannot believe the parts trouble we've had with this thing. This is the second plate here. We went through 4 starters, and now this bell housing might, well, it could be the silicone the guy put on here. Let's try that again. It's awful tight. Maybe I should just clearance it out a little bit. Why would you have to clearance a new part?
Because you hate Jeeps?
Because it's full custom, that's why. Let's try to clearance it.
So I don't even know what that means when you say clearancing.
So I'm just going to clean out some material here. I'm going to make more room for that to fit in. So I think I'm going to use a sanding disc.
Going full custom. But you know what? Once this is all done and we're riding around in our Jeep looking super fly,
All of this is a memory.
it's all a memory. It's like, yeah. You're going to be so glad. You're going to be like, yeah. When people ask you about it, you'll be like, yeah. La, la, la.
Okay, but check it out. You're in a war. It's life and death on the line. Your clutch is bad. You got to get out.
Right.
You're dealing with this.
That's true.
That, ladies and gentlemen, is clearancing.
Drum roll.
Why? Well, this video's off to a great start.
Case of the Mondays.
Thinking our great Jeep video turns out to be a 30-second flop right out the door. Well, it appears to be drawing it in.
Because did that transmission come off of that bell housing?
No, no. So if you remember, the transmission was bolted up to that Toyota engine,
Oh, yes.
and it had all that stuff going on. But now this part that actually indexes in the bell housing is new because they had some weird Toyota clutch thing going on.
Oh, I remember that now.
So the same company we were sourcing all the other parts from, and their great reputation.
They shall remain nameless.
That's where we got this.
Although a few people at the Redneck Rumble, they were talking about the Jeep videos, and they've had the same experience.
I don't get it. Maybe it's just because it was military spec stuff, and now that it's in a civilian market, everything has been kind of like watered down tolerance-wise, you know?
Yeah.
Because with the Volkswagen world, again, a supplier that will remain unnamed, they had a lot of trouble with things fitting, especially like their chrome engine tin kits and stuff like that. So could just be that. Now this is pulling in though. So it's probably just a little bit of machining on that part. Wasn't done exactly to spec. Sure, a lot of people will get a kick out of me using this carriage bolt, but 7/16, that's all I have. I'm gonna replace it, because if we can get this to fit, it'll probably stay together without any bolts. It's so darn tight. I would run to the hardware store, but that's gonna be an hour round trip, so here we are. I don't want to use the air gun on this just because I want to feel how tight it's getting. I don't want to break this. So, got any funny stories while I'm busy doing this?
Um, I don't know. I feel like we've been kind of boring lately. We traveled. Well, we can talk about that.
We were off air for quite a while because our flight was, I'm going to call out right now. Do not fly Delta Airlines.
Not if you really want to get somewhere.
Oh my goodness.
So on our way to Redneck Rumble, you guys, we almost didn't make it. We were the last two people to board the plane because they overbooked it. Luckily, we got on the plane. We were the last two people.
Like the whole plane was boarded.
Yeah, they shut the door. Like as soon as we stepped on, they were like, boom, shut the door. Then on our way back, we had a layover in Texas for 4 hours, turned into like 5.5, and our bags didn't make the plane.
It took us 12 hours to get from Nashville to Los Angeles.
12 hours. We could have driven, really.
Almost.
I mean, it would have taken us longer, but it would have been a lot nicer. So, yeah. So, when we come to car shows, when Ian shows up, when I show up, it's a labor of love.
It really is.
We want to meet y'all, and we know y'all want to meet us and meet Ian and tell him, your stories and stuff. But, yeah.
All right, cool. So now we have to figure out how does the clutch work against that thing. And I think I might be short a spring. So see right here, there's a collar that slips on here, and then there's a fork that when you press the clutch pedal, it does that. So in our pile of things, I'm imagining that that is thus the fork. See, it's got that little dimple.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna live on there like that.
Mm-hmm. So cute.
The nut. See, that's the thing with the spring. Spring goes on here somewhere. But I'm guessing that it goes like that.
Remember what I told you? What I tell you every time when you're trying to figure something out? What do I tell you?
Read the instructions.
No, I bet there's a video on YouTube.
Oh, that's true too. So it looks like there's going to be a clutch cable that we don't have that pulls on that.
Where do you get a clutch cable from?
That infamous supplier that will remain unnamed.
Oh, really? How come we didn't get a clutch cable from them?
I don't know. And then this is brand new. This is the throw out bearing. But what side goes where? So that's like a little step on there. So it fits perfect like that. It must be the way it has to go. Only fits one way. So, okay. See, I had another one of these, and see, it goes on that way, but doesn't go on that way.
Hmm.
But I was thinking, I don't know. See, I was thinking that nice little flange would go up against this. Apparently it goes this way, because that fits, and that sits. We're going to find out when we press the clutch pedal, that's for sure. All right, so that goes there. That goes there. And this should go on. But there was a spring I was reading about, and I don't see anywhere for that spring to attach. Clutch release spring goes, yeah, there's supposed to be a little tab on there. See, there's supposed to be a little spring, and I'm not seeing anything on that part of the transmission. See that little eyelet? There isn't one. There's just a hole. Oh no, wait, there's a little notch right there. Let me see that. Aha! So yeah, there's a little hole right there. So we need a spring that goes from there to there. Might have something. So this is a very long spring, but might prove the concept. Yeah, look at that. From there, boom, to there. Cool. All right, now we're getting someplace. I need something like that, but much smaller. You know what?
What?
We're gonna get full custom. We're gonna make a custom spring.
Well, isn't that the whole point of like your show and like our YouTube and whatnot?
Let's not get too carried away.
I mean,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I told you. Bear with us, and we're bound to come up with something interesting. Springs are spring steel, so they're a little hard to bend. I think we're going to take this, we're going to make a hard bend on it, because that's kind of square. See, these springs have loops on the end. What we need is sort of like a hard 90-degree bend. I think we're going to take this, we're going to take this, give it a good old bend. Yeah, I think just like that's enough. We're going to cut that off. Yeah. Actually, I could probably put it in backwards now, like that. Oh, yes. All right, now I'm going to take a marker and mark how big we need that.
making it full custom.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's a growly man's voice in my head right now.
Right now, Spring Master Ian Roussel creates a one-of-a-kind clutch spring. I really didn't like that about Full Custom Garage. They invented Metal Master.
We're kind of making fun of Full Custom Garage a little bit. We
Right
always
now, Metal Master Ian Roussel prepares.
make it full custom.
Entering the shop with a great deal of flatulence, his newest creation. It's gonna be a blast.
We told you we had jokes, you guys.
There it is. All right, so now we got that. I'm gonna stretch this out. Get this out of the way. Cut that. It's gonna work. So now this just needs to be a little loop.
Good job, Ian.
Thanks. I'm not gonna quit my day job and just go into this custom spring manufacturing field.
So there was somebody at the Redneck Rumble, or maybe they emailed me. I don't remember. There's a lot of families that watch our YouTube, which I think is really cool. And they show their children how to problem solve.
Well, now everybody knows how to make a custom brake return spring.
Hey, man, that's like one of those things that if you have that skill at that perfect time, you could save. Like
Could have
maybe,
won the war.
well, that's what I'm saying. Like out in the field or whatever, you're just like out and out back wherever in your Jeep, and you're like, I got this one spray.
Well, you know, my flying name was MacGyver.
Really, it was. That was the first name they told me was your name. I didn't even know your name was Ian at first.
Jamie was asking if we're gonna get the engine started today.
Ian laughed in my face.
It's like, we're just spending the whole afternoon modifying a spring. What do you mean started? This is car building, ladies and gentlemen. This is car building.
This is really what was going on behind the scenes of Full Custom Garage,
Yeah.
literally. I got Full Custom in the kitchen. Hello again.
All right, so I got it. I got the grease on there. Now this slips on. It's all greased up. And our custom spring comes on like this without getting our fingers crushed. And then this goes in there like that.
Ah.
So when you press the brake pedal, it pulls that and it pushes that spring, causes the clutch to go.
Wow. So part of my interest in this Jeep build is understanding much more in depth about how clutches and all the things work. The other day when we were at the Redneck Rumble, they wanted Ian to drive the Blue Demon. I'll insert picture here. And we heard that the master cylinder was frozen. And so basically I said, so you mean the brakes don't work? And Erie Eric looked at me like I was a genius. And I wanted to take a moment because I knew that the master cylinder caused the brakes to go or not go. Round of applause.
Unless you're on a mini bike.
Wow. I can't get to that yet.
You know how the early mini bikes stopped?
Your feet?
Well, that, but it was just a metal plate that pushed on a tire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That would be a fun little episode, getting the mini bike running.
Yeah.
Just like an Outlier episode.
I got that Predator engine. I want to build a mini trike. All right, so this bell housing should go onto this. I said should. We got that, we got that, we got that, and we got that. To shim this. There it is. Now my custom assortment. That one. That goes there. Plate comes up. Goes there.
Remember, it's a labor of love. It's a labor of love.
So theoretically, that clutch should work. So through here is where the clutch cable goes.
That's crazy. There's no clutch cable?
All right, so now this is called a transfer case. You know why?
Because it transfers things?
Nailed it. I'm feeling natural. It transfers the power from the clutch and the engine to this to make it four-wheel drive.
Ah.
So it splits, like on all the other stuff you see me do. It just goes straight out to the rear axle. So this gearbox transfers the power to two drive shafts, front, fore, and aft. So he said he recommends just silicone in here. So I'm going to test fit it. Well, look at that. That fit right up.
I had no idea this stuff was like this big.
And this is small.
Really?
This is a tiny little Jeep.
Oh my goodness. It doesn't even seem like it'll fit in there.
Well, the Jeep is basically a tractor. Like, it's all just power. So that's why you're seeing such a robust driveway. I'm going to use that sander, clean this edge up. Cool. So I'm going to follow the man's word. Just put silicone on both of these surfaces after I lacquer thinner it. It's a pretty new sock. I probably shouldn't be using it as a rag, but here we are. Might put it on later.
That's exciting.
We're going to get any grease and oil off of this, that we don't have any leaks. See, this whole thing is full of oil in the end.
I see why acetone is so important in a shop.
Cleans. So that's satisfying.
That is really satisfying, actually.
All right, so this is definitely gripping it. It's not. If this was oily, the stuff would slide right off of the steel.
Oh, would it?
So that's what you want to check. Same thing over here. Cool. So basically this is a gasket all the way around now. I didn't even get paid for that.
Anybody saw Ian's Instagram reel?
Am I doing commercials sometimes? Yes, I am.
We're pretty picky about them, though.
We are. We ain't trying to peddle junk.
No.
Now this goes to that. Yes, very satisfying. Now I'm guessing that's what these are laying here for?
They're probably missing you at Carl's in Mojave.
Sure are.
Ian used to go to there at sometimes twice, sometimes 3 times a day.
Yeah, that's wild. Wild stories. True stories of the desert. I would seriously be working, and right, the camera's on. You got to make it happen. It's like, oh my god, I don't have the part. Down and back.
You would make it there and back in record time sometimes.
That was the power of the race truck.
Yes.
Ford truck. That Ford F-150, I flogged that truck.
He did.
It wouldn't die. It was incredible.
It's still alive, too.
Yeah. It got to a point where I was just like, if it goes, it goes, and it never went. It just kept running. There's one more right there. Cool. So now, the gear that transfers the power goes in. Gauges. There. There it is. Look, I just went in.
I caught it. I got it.
And this, I guess, I'm gonna put a Loctite on this one too. I don't know what it gets torqued to. Oh, it gets a key. Okay, it gets a locking key, cotter pin. Okay, so I can see the cotter pin. It's got to come a little bit more. So this goes through so that that can't ever come unloose. See how it slips right in there?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now the end cap goes on here. I'm going to clean that. So I hope that's everything. So we got 5 bolts. Go on there. They look like about 3/8.
What happened?
A bolt went right down into the gears.
Is that bad or good?
That's terrible.
Uh-oh.
That's one of the worst things that could happen.
How do you fix that?
Oh, no. Oh, I can see it. A magnet.
It just pounced right out of your fingers.
This is actual car building. Yeah. You have to do some retrieving.
Boy, Ian and I are having the case of the Mondays all week.
There it is.
It's like a game of operation.
It's right here. Oh, it's right there. Can you believe this? Where's the mega magnet?
I know, that's why I was like, get that bad boy.
Oh yeah, now we got some magnetism. Got our full custom magnet enhancer. Look at that power.
Oh boy. Just be chill. Yes, ready for success. That was stressful.
Good times. What's the difference between a fabricator and a mechanic? You're seeing that today, ladies and gentlemen. This is a fabricator trying to figure things out. We got 3 and 2. Blip. So if you're new to this channel and you're interested in mechanics, you should go watch the mechanic channel. This ain't that.
But thanks for stopping by. Ian built some cool stuff.
Sometimes. I'm not retrieving bolts from the transfer case. So this is pretty much a wrap besides my shopping list. I guess we'll put the shifters on. You'll see the 3 shifter status. Run it through the gears. And it's time to put it in the vehicle.
But now we know like all the pieces that are missing, right? That was basically what this mock-up was? Okay.
This isn't even a mock-up. I'm just going to swap out bolts one at a time. This is going in the vehicle as is. The internal stuff, that spring is a keeper. I'm going to order a clutch cable.
Oh. So that's what that's for.
I think I got that right. Yeah, because it can't go the other way. I was thinking maybe I had it reversed. I don't know.
Well, if it's reversed, let us know in the comments.
As I understand, one of these is high-low and one is 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive. Oh, it's laying on that so it won't spin. Oh, no, here we go. Oh, there it goes, see? Locked.
Mm-hmm.
Unlocked.
Oh, wow. Okay. That, you know, I was telling you about the night that we went in Big Willy Jeep up that big old hill. And Ian, because Big Willy Jeep is so big, he can't reach those.
Blocks, right?
And he's like, just pull that lever. Just pull that lever. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so afraid of heights. I thought we were going to die. I live to tell the
Because he
tale.
had you put it in 4-wheel drive.
He did, and I didn't know what we were doing, and he was like, "There's no time to explain."
No time to explain.
And he
Hold
can't
on.
reach it because the Jeep is so giant that he can't reach down there. It was stressful, but it was fun too.
So yeah, all gears are go.
Yay!
High, low, 4-wheel drive. I wish we had the body off that thing. Take a look at this and we'll wrap it up. So what I'm up to now with the body is the last bit of fabrication on this side. It was all beat up and rusty. So this got hit pretty good in the side. So yesterday I cut it out, doing some hammering, and I'm gonna put that all back in. See, the little thing was all fatigued. So I'm gonna take the body off. I wish it's too hot outside. It's too crowded out there. I wish we could just lift this body up and put the engine in, but I think that's another day's work.
When it's not 100
It's gonna be 100. I just gotta get all that stuff out of the way. So we got 4 shocks. We got the windshield seal. We got the radiator, seat covers. I got headlights. Proper headlights are here. Working on getting these buckets in place. Had to do a little customizing, but these will look just like the stock ones.
No chrome.
No chrome. So yeah, that powertrain is ready to pop right in. Remember, we built our engine mounts. We got all new rubber, engine, transmission, etc. So I'm going to take the body off and then put all this in. We might do another episode, or we might just drive it. We'll see what happens next.